I get off of Miriam.
I finish, and then you go. Right?
Wait, is this after Miriam?
Yeah. You do this too.
Oh my god, Phelan both. I need to remember that.
I skimmed. They weren't good. What?
No, we're good.
I thought you were pulling out earbuds.
No, I was taking my like.
Yeah, sorry.
Guys, open up to the page. Aki, there.
We say. Who's on? The microphone is on. I said we'll say, and then I heard it echo. And I recorded none of it. It's okay. We say. Good evening. Welcome to the commencement exercises for the class of 2025. Go. And now, please stand for the graduating class. Remain standing for the national anthem. Please be seated. Mic is on.
Yeah, go live.
I don't have a turn me up.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have it and then like all of a sudden we have to start, you know? And then I'll be like, what are you doing? I know, I realized. And Elena was a cousin. And Dada was a cousin. I think that's it. Looking at the road. No? I feel like this podium is so like to the side.
I know. I totally agree. We have to have it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, we don't really fit.
Mr. Bolster. We go last. It's like we don't fit if we have to do this time.
I think it's fine. I don't know. Maybe we can ask them today. Can we? No, just a second. Okay.
If we both
Thank you.
have to stand there.
Thank you.
Yeah, like that.
There you go.
Yeah, right?
But as the grads are coming up, we have to have it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't put it too far forward, because then it interferes with the speaker. You get to
Okay.
Okay, I'll help with moving this.
When the grads are in, we can just.
Yeah. Put it over here.
You're going to be here first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? You're doing the first piece. And then when you're done with it, when you come in, you can just put them in the field.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be here.
Thank you.
We got
Oh yeah, I already talked.
Where are your family?
You have lipstick on your teeth, on your front teeth. My family, they're in the front row behind the board of trustees.
I see.
Do you see? That's my dad's aunt and uncle to my dad's right. See my dad? My mom's in a green dress.
Oh, sorry, yes.
My mom's in a green dress, my dad's to the right, and then that's my dad's aunt and uncle. Like, no English, zero. And then to my mom's left is my grandma and grandpa. So,
That's it.
yeah.
Oh, look, Natalia's here. Just Claire's graduating.
Who?
Natalia.
Because who's graduating?
Claire.
Who's Natalia? Ah!
Yeah.
Natalia.
Natalia.
Okay.
We have to sit down.
Oh wait, no, I don't see her. Oh no, like.
So once you've done that, you come back here and stay standing, all right?
Stay standing.
Yeah, because they're going to come back tomorrow now.
What do you mean?
That's when they graduate.
But
Testing 1, 2.
when the graduate, so we say that, Mr. Wilson. We say all that, and then we stay standing back here.
You say all that
They all
to
come.
here.
We go back up, and then we say, please be seated.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, down to here you're going.
Yeah.
All right, again.
When do we start?
Say good evening.
We can start? Good evening, and welcome to the commencement exercises for the class of 2025.
Buenas tardes y bienvenidos a la ceremonia de graduación de la promoción del 2025.
And now, please stand for the graduating class and remain standing for the national anthems.
Y ahora pónganse en pie para los graduados y permanezcan en pie para los himnos nacionales.
You have to stand through this.
Please be seated.
Pueden sentarse.
To welcome you to the ceremony, I would like to present Mr. Phelan Bolster, the Upper School Director.
Para darles la bienvenida a nuestra ceremonia de hoy, les presento a Mr. Phelan Bolster, director de la escuela secundaria.
Don't they look great? Yeah? How about one more round of applause? We're very proud of them. So many pages. Right. The bad news is you have to hear another story from me. One last one. The good news is it's the last one for you. Graduates. Oh, I knew something was wrong. I couldn't see it. My glasses aren't on. There you go. When I was a very young boy, my dad would wake me up late on Saturday nights to watch Match of the Day. For those who don't know, Match of the Day is a BBC program that shows all the highlights of the football games from the weekend. As a result of these late-night football watching sprees, I fell in love with a London-based team called Tottenham Hotspur, or Spurs, as they're better known, which is the exact opposite of being an Arsenal fan. Isn't that right, Stefan? It is. It was a time when Spurs had some great players, especially two Argentinian players, Ozzy Ardiles and Ricardo Villa. I was all in, or locked in, as you might say. When I was about 10, Spurs won the English FA Cup. It was 1982. I thought I hit the jackpot regarding what team to support. I'd made a really good decision. I was 10 and cocky as hell. Unfortunately, in time, I would realize my decision might not be as good as I thought it was. Wins for Spurs since then have been thin on the ground. And these last 5 years in a school with so many Real Madrid fans has not been easy. However, on May 21st this year, all that changed. After a 17-year wait, Spurs finally won a trophy when they won the Europa League final in what can only be described as the most awful spectacle of competitive sports seen anywhere this year. Believe me, I know, I've seen these guys play their lunchtime soccer matches. It's not great. But I didn't care. We had won something. Being a Spurs fan has taught me a lot in life. It has taught me the importance of resilience and the danger of hope, just as I'm sure it has taught the same lessons to one of our seniors here tonight who's also a Spurs fan. Would you agree with that, Finn? Yeah, I'm sure your dad would too. However, every time I look toward the start of a new season and hear about a new player being signed, usually somebody no one's ever heard of, and yet another new manager nobody's ever heard of joining our club, I can't help but feel cynical. A long time ago, somewhere around 2008, I was at an educational conference in Amman, Jordan. By that time, I was at the height of my cynicism, both toward my football team and quite a few other things. The keynote speaker at this conference made me sit up when he shared this funny definition of a cynic. He said a cynic was someone who had given up, but unfortunately, they hadn't shut up yet. It made me laugh. But the more I thought about it, the more I reflected on who I was and how I chose to see the world. I didn't want to be that person who saw the negative in everything. Coming out of that conference, I made a conscious decision to try and see the world as a place of opportunity, that almost every situation has the potential to provide something good, something that helps you grow. The world we live in is a challenging place, indeed. There is a lot of uncertainty around us. However, if I were addressing you 10 years ago, I think I'd say the same thing, and maybe even 10 years before, and so on. It's not new, it's just life in a complex world. Now, I don't know, I'll go out on a limb here, I don't know if any of you know a singer-songwriter named Nick Cave. Anybody on the stage? Hands up if you've ever heard of Nick Cave. 3, 4. Anybody in the audience? All right, well, the good news is you don't need to know him for the purposes of this story. A few weeks ago, I came across something he said about cynicism. And just for some context, Nick Cave suffered a significant personal tragedy. And his quote is connected to this. So Nick Cave on cynicism. Cynicism is not a neutral position. And although it asks almost nothing of it, it is highly infectious and unbelievably destructive. In my view, it is the most common and easy of evils. I know this because much of my early life was spent holding the world and the people in it in contempt. It was a position both seductive and indulgent. The truth is, I was young and had no idea what was coming down the line. I lacked the knowledge, the foresight, the self-awareness. I just didn't know. It took a devastation to teach me the preciousness of life and the essential goodness of people. It took a devastation for me to find hope. Unlike cynicism, hopefulness is hard-earned, makes demands upon us, and can often feel like the most indefensible and lonely place on earth. Hopefulness is not a neutral position. It is adversarial. It is the warrior emotion that can waylace to cynicism. It says the world and its inhabitants have value and are worth defending. It says the world is worth believing in. In time, we come to find that it is so. So, after almost a 17-year search since that conference in Amman, Jordan, I finally understand why, as each football season begins, I still feel excited for my beloved Spurs. Even when I truly felt I should be cynical. What I had, but I didn't fully appreciate, was hope. Spurs had taught me how to remain hopeful. So, dear graduates, as you go out into the world and look to embrace its many opportunities, challenges will come your way, some small, some more profound. My sincerest wish for you all, for your best chance of happiness and fulfillment in this world, is that you all become Spurs supporters. Thank you very much.
It is my pleasure to introduce our first student speaker this evening, Rodrigo Arizmendi Octavio. Chosen by his peers to deliver this speech. Rodrigo embodies the best of the class of 2025, known for his ever-present smile and trademark phrase, "No problem is too big to beat a smile." He approaches life with optimism and maturity beyond his years. An old soul with a kind heart, Rodrigo is both a grounding and uplifting force in our community, somebody whose presence makes others feel seen, valued, and inspired. To know Rodrigo is to become a better person. Rodrigo's passion to study business combined with his intellect, work ethic, and character ensures a great future ahead of him. Northwestern University is getting not just a brilliant student, but also a great human being.
Es un placer presentarles al primer alumno que hablará esta tarde, Rodrigo Arizmendi Octavio, que ha sido elegido por sus compañeros para dirigirse a ustedes hoy. Rodrigo representa lo mejor de la clase del 2025. Conocido por su sonrisa inagotable y su frase característica, ningún problema es demasiado grande para superar una sonrisa. Afronta la vida con un optimismo y una madurez que superan su edad. Con un alma madura y un corazón bondadoso, Rodri es una fuerza que impulsa y anima a nuestra comunidad, alguien cuya presencia hace que otros se sientan apreciados, valorados e inspirados. Conocer a Rodrigo es convertirse en una mejor persona. El entusiasmo de Rodrigo por estudiar empresariales, combinado con su intelecto, ética de trabajo y carácter, le garantiza un gran futuro. La Universidad Northwestern está adquiriendo no solo a un estudiante brillante, sino a una gran persona.
Good afternoon, everyone. Teachers, families, staff, friends, and most importantly, good afternoon to the class of 2025. We've dreamt of this day, haven't we? Pictured it in the quiet of our childhood bedrooms, in the chaos of late-night study sessions. Caps on, hearts full, ready to toss them into the sky and scream, "We did it." But now that we're standing here, it doesn't feel like a dream. It feels like a goodbye. A beautiful, shattering goodbye to the place that made us, the people who changed us, and the version of ourselves that we will never be again. Can you feel it? The weight of this moment? It's not just the diplomas we'll hold or the cheers we'll hear. It's the ache of knowing that tomorrow, these halls, the ones that echo with our memories, will be quiet. That the faces we cherish, the ones we have seen every weekday for as long as we know, will scatter. We have spent years running toward the future. But now that it's here, all I want is to hold on to this, to us, to now, to the way that it feels to be surrounded by you all one last time. Back then, when we were kids, the future was limitless. We all thought we could do anything, be anything. Astronauts, artists, world changers, firefighters, policemen, vets, we all saw ourselves as capable of anything. Back then, we didn't question whether our dreams were too big or too unrealistic. We just had them. But as we've grown up, I feel like we've been taught to be more careful, to think practically, and to be, well, realistic, as the world calls it. And yet, if these years have taught us anything, it's that what seems impossible isn't always as crazy and far away as it looks. Because to get here, to get to this moment where we are right now, we all face something we thought we couldn't do. A challenge that felt too big, a moment where we doubted ourselves. The IB, our classes, maybe a sport. And yet, here we stand. Not because we never failed, not because it was easy. I think we can all vouch for the fact that it was not. But because somewhere along the way, we just decided to keep on going. We decided that even when something seems out of reach, perhaps it is still worth reaching for. For me, that moment came when I first arrived in Madrid. 7 years ago, I moved from my hometown in Venezuela to Spain. And this adventure was more than just a change in location. It was a complete upheaval of everything I have ever known. Most of you who know me now will have a really hard time believing this. But back then, I was a very quiet kid, comfortable in my own space and hesitant to step out of my shell. Back then, I never could have imagined standing here today, speaking in front of all of you. And yet, here we are. At some point, I don't even know when, but I stopped seeing my introversion as something that defined me, that limited me, and started seeing it as something I could grow beyond. With this new approach, I pushed myself into conversations, into friendships, into moments where I was forced to adapt. I pushed myself into this little family that we call school. My impossible used to be reaching out to others, being social, and making life-lasting connections. It was so hard for me. So, your choice in picking me to speak today, your choice in letting me build the friendships, bonds, and connections I feel with each of you, that is my impossible turned real. And because of you guys, impossible became a reality. But enough about me. My point is, we all have our own version of this story. Maybe it was a class we thought we'd never pass, a sport we thought we'd never excel at, a fear we thought we'd never overcome. Time and time again, we've all proved to ourselves that we can genuinely do anything, that we can go beyond what seems reachable, that impossible is no match for us. And that's what today is, isn't it? It's reaching for something just beyond the horizon. You see, we're letting go of what we know, and we're stepping forward into what we don't. It's exciting, but of course, it's terrifying. And I think in crossing this threshold, we must be very careful about what we leave behind, because it won't just be the familiar hallways, the late-night study sessions, or the people who shaped us. There is something else we risk losing if we're not paying attention. We risk losing the part of us that saw ourselves as capable of anything, that little kid that dared to dream without hesitation. That version of us, the one who once saw no limits, the one who roamed these halls, the one who believed in the impossible, that part of us does not have to be left behind. Over time, the world will probably tell us to be practical, to lower our expectations, to settle. And if we let it, it'll make us forget the dreams and the impossibilities that we once carried so easily. But as Chris Gardner said in The Pursuit of Happiness, you can never let somebody tell you you can't do something. You got a dream, you gotta protect it. Well, maybe it isn't just about protecting the dream. Maybe it's about refusing to outgrow the part of ourselves that still believes in something bigger. Maybe it's about protecting the little kid who dreamt big dreams, so he can continue doing just that. So, we shouldn't just protect the dream, but rather, we should protect the dreamer, the little kid that looked at the world and didn't just accept it as it was, but saw it for what it could be. That part of us, the one that looks at everything and sees it for a better thing, the one that understands that the greatest things ever built, the most extraordinary things ever accomplished, all started as ideas that seemed impossible, that's the part we need to protect. Think about it. Every invention, every breakthrough, every revolution, every single one of them started with someone who refused to believe that impossible meant impossible. They started with someone who chose to believe that just because something had never been done before didn't mean it couldn't be. Someone who realized that the seemingly scary unknown perhaps was just the unattempted. And in the end, that's why today matters, because we are standing at the edge of our own impossibilities. We are standing at the edge of the things that feel just out of reach, the dreams we have, the goal we set, the person we hope to become. It all starts right here, right now. So, if there is even a small part of you that still believes in something extraordinary, if there is a single dream you carry that feels too big, too ambitious, too impossible, I urge you to hold on to it. Protect it with your life. Because maybe, just maybe, with a little work, your impossible can too become your reality. On a closing note, and I know a lot of people have heard this, but let me just remind us that endings are never just endings. They are beginnings in disguise. This moment, the one we have looked forward to for so long, is not the end to our chapter. It is the opening scene of whatever comes next. So, as we walk across the stage today, as all these familiar faces stand together one last time, as we shake hands and receive our diplomas, and as we step forward into the next part of our lives, let's not just be graduates, let's be dreamers. Let's be the people who refuse to let go of that little kid inside us, the one who never stopped believing. Because if we do that, if we choose to keep reaching, to keep dreaming, to keep pushing past what seems possible, then maybe, just maybe, the most incredible part of our story has yet to be written. Thank you very much, and for the last time, listo esa vaina.
Our next speaker is our 2025 class salutatorian, Lourdes Rivera Gomez. Lourdes is a true Renaissance woman, an exceptional student, gifted artist, and natural leader who has left a lasting mark on ASM. Whether in the classroom or on stage, Lourdes brings energy, creativity, and purpose to everything she does, making it all seem effortless. Her intellectual curiosity and disciplined work ethic were matched by her drive to be a force for good in the world. Our community was enriched by her many talents as a musician, dancer, painter, and scientist, and by her generous spirit. Lourdes now turns her passion towards biomedical research, where she hopes to make a meaningful impact. We can't wait to see all she will accomplish at University College London and beyond.
Nuestra siguiente oradora es la alumna que ha quedado segunda de la promoción del 2025, Lourdes Rivela Gómez. Lourdes Rivela es una verdadera mujer del Renacimiento, una estudiante excepcional, artista con talento y líder nata que ha dejado una huella imborrable en ASM. Ya sea en el aula o sobre el escenario, Lourdes aporta energía, creatividad y propósito a todo lo que hace, y lo hace parecer sin esfuerzo. Su curiosidad intelectual y su ética de trabajo van de la mano con su deseo de ser una fuerza positiva en el mundo. Nuestra comunidad se ha enriquecido con sus múltiples talentos, como música, bailarina, pintora y científica, y con su espíritu generoso. Ahora, Lourdes dirige su pasión hacia la investigación biomédica, donde espera tener un impacto significativo. Estamos deseando ver todo lo que logrará en University College London y más allá.
Good evening, family, friends, teachers, and fellow graduates. My name is Lourdes Rivela Gómez, and I'm standing here today as a Salutatorian of the class of 2025. Before I begin my speech, I think it goes without saying that I would like to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you to everyone in this room. To our parents, thank you for your sacrifices and all the opportunities that you have granted us. To our teachers and staff, thank you for your patience and for enabling us to do our very best. And to our friends, thank you for the laughter and the ways you make things feel a little less heavy. I think there is a kind of invisible power in community that we often take for granted. We don't always notice it, but it's certainly always there. It is in the way that someone holds the door open for you or greets you in the hallway. It is in the shared exhaustion after exams, in small talk over coffee, in knowing glances. I don't think I've come to appreciate these small gestures as much as I have now, right as I'm about to leave them behind. I guess it really is true that we don't know what we have until we don't have it anymore. As teenagers, we get told advice like this time and time again, and it all sounds cheesy until you finally live it yourself. One of the main realizations I have come to is that most of the things that shape us do not arrive all at once. Rather, they sneak up on us in moments that feel ordinary. Our growth hides in conversations, in mistakes that hurt, and in quiet victories no one else sees. Growth builds in silence and in patience. But we cannot grow without each other, and we do not become ourselves alone. I don't think I would be standing here without opening my heart to others. Of course, it's much easier said than done. It's not easy putting yourself out there to show up fully without any armor on. But when you're surrounded by people who are kind, people who see you and still choose you, it's hard not to want to at least try. And I believe this is true about the people here today. During our time here, I believe we've built something that cannot be graded or measured. Despite standing here as a salutatorian, who I am at ASM has nothing to do with my grades or my achievements. What is valued is my character and the grace with which I live my life. For this, I would like to thank my fellow classmates. Thank you for allowing me to show up in front of others as myself. More than anything, this is what I wish for all of you. I hope you live as yourselves, however that looks for you, loud or quiet, fierce or gentle, because that is what I love the most about you. The other day, during a get-together our class had, I took a moment to look around at people talking and smiling, and in that moment, I thought to myself, I can't help but to fall a little bit in love with all my friends. In each and every one of you, I have come to deeply admire a piece of you. Thank you for showing yourselves to me, and for allowing me to show myself to you. I was around 12 when most of us met. I laugh thinking about those versions of ourselves. We were awkward and intense, but extremely genuine. It was like walking around with our nerves on the outside. Everything stings a little more. Everything matters deeply and wildly. Everything feels enormous, as if it's shaping you. And it is. These years have been a very transformative time of our lives, what some people call the times of our lives. I am glad to have lived this alongside everyone here, and I wouldn't trade this process for anything. Even when I was little, I knew that teenagers sparkled. I knew they knew something children didn't know yet, and adults ended up forgetting. We speak with conviction, we love without holding back, and stand up for what matters to us. And that is the thing about authenticity. It's not some performance of honesty, it's the strange and beautiful clarity that happens precisely when you stop performing. So, as we step away from these hallways and into whatever comes next, I hope we hold on to that magic. I hope we resist the urge to comfort and to dilute ourselves for the comfort of others. Being yourself is not a risk, but rather a return. Because when we're authentic, we give others permission to be the same. Congratulations, class of 2025. The future has no idea what's on its way, because it has yet to meet you, in all your honesty, in all your depth, and in all your becoming. Thank you.
Now I present to you our class of 2025 valedictorian, Mariam Damaj. Mariam embodies intellectual curiosity, artistic talent, and compassionate service, a rare and inspiring combination. She speaks 4 languages, including Arabic, French, and Spanish. Alongside her academic studies at ASM, she has also been attending a music conservatory for violin. For the past 2 years, she has served as principal violinist and concertmaster in our ASM orchestra. Her love of learning for its own sake is evident across all academic disciplines, and she is a voracious reader. Although Mariam is among the top academic performers at ASM, her humility means that her achievements often speak for themselves. What truly sets Mariam apart, however, is not just her intellect or talent, it is her compassion, empathy, and unwavering dedication to serving others. She aspires to become a physician and has actively pursued this path through her coursework, academic summer programs, internships, and volunteer work. Anyone would be fortunate to count Mariam as a friend, colleague, or acquaintance, and in the years to come, patients will be in excellent hands under her care. This fall, she will begin her medical studies at Navarra Medical School.
Ahora les presento a la alumna que ha quedado primera en la promoción de 2025, Mariam Damaj. Mariam Damaj encarna la curiosidad intelectual, el talento artístico y el compromiso compasivo con los demás, una combinación tan poco común como inspiradora. Habla 4 idiomas, entre ellos árabe, francés y español. Además de sus estudios académicos en ASM, también ha asistido al Conservatorio de Música para estudiar violín. Durante los 2 últimos años, ha sido primera violinista y concertino de nuestra orquesta en ASM. Su amor por el aprendizaje, por el simple placer de saber, se refleja en todas las disciplinas académicas y es una lectora incansable. Aunque Mariam está entre las estudiantes con mejores resultados académicos de ASM, su humildad hace que sus logros hablen por sí solos. Lo que realmente distingue a Mariam no es solo su inteligencia o talento, sino su compasión, empatía y dedicación inquebrantable al servicio de los demás. Aspira a convertirse en médico y ha perseguido activamente este objetivo a través de sus estudios, programas académicos de verano y prácticas y voluntariado. Cualquiera se sentirá afortunado de tener a Mariam como amiga, compañera o conocida, y en los años venideros los pacientes estarán en excelentes manos bajo su cuidado. Este otoño comenzará sus estudios de medicina en la Facultad de Medicina de la Universidad de Navarra.
Good afternoon, parents, teachers, and fellow graduates. My name is Mariam, and I'm honored to be able to speak to you all today as the valedictorian of this year's graduating class. First of all, I want to say congratulations, class of 2025. After years of impatiently waiting, we finally made it to this day. I also want to say congratulations, not only to everyone on the stage, but also to all the teachers, the friends, family, and staff at ASM that made this possible for us. As students, I think it's easy for us to feel that it's us against the world, and that we're the only ones carrying the weight of struggling to work towards our goals. But we often tend to forget the community of people supporting us, teachers, family, friends, who have helped us carry the workload and stress of the last few years, and without whom we would not be standing here today. So to everyone who has cared for and supported us these last few years, thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. I know that in moments like these, we tend to reminisce and be nostalgic over the good moments we spent in high school, laughing with our friends during or after class, or going to the cafe during MP for a tostada or a coffee. And I know the last thing any of us want to think about, now that we're finally free, is all the stress, the pressure, and the countless hours of sleep lost to IAs, extended essays, or studying for exams. But just for a moment, I want you to think back and remember those difficult moments and those feelings of frustration. Because at the end of the day, all that effort and all that struggle is what we're really here to celebrate today. Everyone on this stage has worked incredibly hard, and we will soon receive our well-deserved diplomas and start exciting new chapters of our lives. Still, I would be lying if I said that everything went exactly according to plan, as I'm sure everyone here had goals that didn't quite go exactly the way we imagined. But what I've realized is that when you give something your all, when you commit fully and take risks, the outcome will always be worth it. It may not be exactly what you first imagined, but I promise that the effort you take and the challenges you face will always lead you exactly where you're meant to be. Take the college application process, for example, something we've all poured tremendous time and energy into. That effort alone has revealed so much of who we are, as among us today are people who've started an organization to teach code, which has impacted tens of underprivileged children across Madrid, people who've conducted research at world-class universities like NYU and the Baylor College of Medicine, and people who've already written and published their own research papers in political science, biology, and other subjects, as well as countless other accomplishments that make me extremely proud to be a part of this graduating class. And knowing this, I think it's only fair to say that these achievements, the time, the effort, and the passion behind them say far more about us than any acceptance letter could. The more I think about it, the more I realize that medals and awards are truly meaningless on their own. We are what give them their value, everything we have worked for and everything we have sacrificed. As our achievements are not measured by awards, numbers, or names, but rather our hard work, our sacrifice, and our dedication to struggle for what we want, even when the outcome has been uncertain. For this reason, I have always seen hard work and perseverance not just as a way to achieve your goals, but rather as an end in itself. Even if you don't get exactly what you hoped for, the effort you put in is yours and only yours. It's something no one can give you and no one can ever take away. You built it, and that alone is worth celebrating. And I know for a fact that everyone here is capable of that kind of work, because we did it. We not only made it through high school, but for a lot of us, the IB, arguably one of the most difficult and demanding high school programs in the world. So now that we're done, although it's tempting, don't forget everything it took to get here. Don't forget the frustration, the exhaustion, the struggle. Instead, carry it with you and be proud of it. Let it give you confidence because you've already proven what you are capable of. And as we move forward in life, I urge everyone here to live out your dreams to the fullest and to never hold yourself back for fear of regret in case you don't get there. Because even if you don't achieve exactly what you wanted, the work you put in and the sacrifices you make will always get you much farther than if you hadn't believed in the possibility of succeeding in the first place. So let all the hard work you put up until now, the dedication and the struggle, give you pride and make you realize that you are capable of far more than you imagine. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2025.
Traditionally, members of our senior class provide a musical interlude at our ceremony. This year, a group of musicians from the class of 2025 will be performing a medley of songs.
Es tradición que algunos miembros de la promoción nos deleiten con una actuación musical. Tengo el placer de presentarles al grupo musical de la promoción de 2025, que interpretará varias canciones.
This one's hooked already. How the fuck are we meant to move this? Here, okay, I'll go to the other side of your pocket. Where's the other mic? Yeah, but
Oh, there's one
oh,
more?
right here. Here's that one. Wait, guys, careful with that part.
Oh my god. Yeah, I so want you to do my part.
Are you sure? Okay,
Yeah,
I might want,
I want you to do it with
mine.
me.
Okay.
We'll do it together, okay?
Yes.
Because I'm too nervous.
Okay, me too.
Wait, this one goes like... We surround this one, right?
Uno.
Bro, we're taking more than 12 minutes.
So we're together.
Oh wait.
You're there.
Remember, we're also in Vienna. I mean, sorry, no, sitting for my fingers. There's that place.
I'm always here.
Yeah.
No, I know there's part that I got.
Yeah, but in Vienna we just step up, you know? Okay.
I got it.
Shooting bricks right now.
Okay, I'm happy I'm doing it with you.
Okay, me too.
Wait, is this mic, do we get close or?
No, so let's just go to like those.
Can someone share my computer?
Guys, I don't even think this one's on.
No, they're not on right now.
No, yeah, those are. Guys, this one's not even on. This one is. No, this one is, that one is, this one is.
Are you sure you want me to?
Just like, you can see what you're saying.
I'll do it lightly. I'll do it lightly.
But then at least it's like I have you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll sing from this mic.
Guys, this mic's gonna
Yeah, we're not gonna be heard. Better no?
It's not on,
Es
eh?
por la pantalla, ¿qué tenés?
It's on. It's just
Are you sure?
Okay, we're not gonna be heard then.
No, I really don't think so.
No sé si mejor o peor, ¿eh?
Look,
Que no es un micrófono de es un micrófono de o sea, que se escucha de mi fuera.
Claro, but if we have to sing our, like, just us two.
When you sing, just you two sing into that one close to get close.
Okay.
I really don't think it's on,
Are
eh?
you guys?
I don't think
What's
it's
your order of singing?
We're third.
Because the guy went like this and he was like, no.
Okay. When you guys are first, switch with us, okay? Because this one.
Because we're third.
Oh,
Yeah. Because
Well, we
look,
don't
this
know,
one,
yeah.
like hello. Is it on?
It's not working, then we'll switch.
I don't think it's on. No, but it's not, right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah.
It's not.
Guys, it's taking forever.
Okay, just
We'll switch it.
We'll switch because you guys are first, we're third. So like,
Instead of switching, we'll just move backwards and you
yeah,
guys
we'll
move
go
forward.
forward.
I think I might.
We can split up. Worst comes to worst.
Oh, also in Paradise, we do pair up.
We'll still come to the same order.
We'll switch spots because I go with them and we'll just switch. Oh, this one's on. Hola.
Hola. It's
No,
not.
bro. No.
Oh, they're trying.
Okay.
Remember sitting to my fingers, then when she's gone, there's that one.
Yes. And then my heart is yours.
Yeah, and I saw sports.
Yeah. We got this.
I don't want to go that high.
Okay, if I need you to sing mine, it's slow down.
You're doing fine. You can do everything you want to do.
Slow down and do fine.
Like mine can just like
Rocco's poster.
oh my god. I know. Mine can just like we're supposed to sing it together, but like I kind of like,
Yeah,
backed out.
yeah. I was giving you your moment.
Okay.
And then you'll give me my moment. Can we do it for each other though? Like
What?
you sing my parts.
Whatever. Like you, if you need help, just like.
Okay. I don't even think this is on.
Hola.
Oh, yeah, it is. I don't know. I think I heard myself.
Hola. Hola.
Whatever, we're just gonna sing kind of loud. If not for a part, we just go to each one.
Drive you away. I know what you'll say. Oh, sing what we know. My heart is yours.
You hear it? I don't think so.
I hold on to. That's what I do. And I know I was wrong, but I won't let you down. Oh, yes, I will. Yes, I will. Said, oh, I cry, oh, I saw sparks.
Do it really close.
I saw sparks. I saw sparks. I saw sparks. Sing it out. La 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 la. Oh. La 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 la. Oh. La 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 la. Oh. La 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 la. Oh.
We got it. We got it. Don't feel like you can't hear it.
I think so too. I don't know if that's better or worse.
See she's gone, there's that odd melancholy feeling, a sense of guilt I can't deny. What happened to those wonderful adventures, the places I had planned for us to go? Well, some of that we did, but most we didn't, and why I just don't know. Slipping through my fingers all the time, I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it. Slipping through my fingers all the time, do I really see what's in her mind? Each time I think I'm close to knowing, she keeps on going, slipping through my fingers all the time. Sometimes I wish that I could freeze the picture and save it from the funny tricks of time, slipping through my fingers.
Oh my god, I couldn't stop it.
I think I just heard you say that, but
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. Then if you're so smart, tell me why are you still so afraid? Hey, where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You've got so much to do, so many hours in a day. Hey. Told that you can get what you want, or you can still get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. When will you realize Vienna waits for you? Slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everything you wanna be before your time. Although it's so romantic on the borderline tonight. Too bad, but it's the life you lead. You're so ahead of yourself, but you forgot what you need. Though you can see when you're wrong, you know you can't always see when you're right. You're right. You got your passion, you got your pride. Well, don't you know that only fools are satisfied? Dream on, but don't imagine they'll all come true. When will you realize
We now invite Mr. Zach Zielik to introduce the class of 2025. Mr. Zielik has been a member of the Science Department at ASM since 2020. He is also the grade level leader for the class of 2025.
A continuación, Mr. Zach Zielik, profesor del Departamento de Ciencias de ASM desde 2020 y coordinador de esta promoción, os presentará a los estudiantes de la promoción del 2025. Oh, sorry. Pues a continuación, Mr. Zach Zielik, profesor del Departamento de Ciencias de ASM desde 2020 y coordinador de esta promoción, os presentará a los estudiantes de la promoción de 2025.
Hi, all. Or as I like to start most of my emails, AFM. There was a request from Claire to do this speech as a rap, so you all are in luck. Mr. Bolster vetoed that. I'm Zach Zielik, and I took over for Mr. Dillon in the final year for the class of 2025. I reached out to thank him because he left me with a group that has developed a strong sense of culture and community. Seniors. Oh, thank you. At the beginning of the year, I asked you to imagine yourself on the stage, to consider your goals and how you wanted to be remembered. Our themes are leadership, legacy, and transitions. Leadership doesn't always look like taking charge of a big group. It can be making sure you wipe your lunch table, without being asked. Legacy isn't just how people remember you, but how you made them feel. And transitions, well, often we don't know when something's happening for the last time. Graduation is one of those rare moments where we do. And you've walked towards it with a combination of grace, grits, caffeine, and maybe a little bit of arrogance. But I like to think we've helped squeeze that out of you. The best way I can introduce this class is through the small day-to-day moments. Those ordinary things that together define the year. So let's begin with senior photos. The first event of the year, and we are already running late. All on the bus, anxiously waiting for one last student, Lorenzo Casineo. Shoot, he might even be late for his own wedding someday. But despite it taking 45 minutes to get to Retiro, 2 buses navigating the crazy morning traffic, everyone was able to grab their photos, smiles and all. This set the tone of graceful chaos that carried us through the year. At the retreat, bravery, shown by Carmen, one of the first to go to the top of the zip lines, quickly followed by Ines Gomez and Alessandra, screaming as they leapt from the platforms, but contorting themselves to hang upside down. For more of a thrill, or perhaps to show off to all the guys that were still waiting nervously below. The care shown towards others, even outside of our school community, with Robin and Shayla helping a nervous student from another school navigate the 12-meter high zip line. To the daily routines, like being able to connect with Liam and Joaquin on the Moncloa Express bus, talking about football practice, extended essays, and the existential dread of the IB, but for excitement for what lies ahead. The comedy skills by the speech and debate team to keep a game of freeze, a form of stand-up and acting, lasting over an hour that kept me laughing until my stomach hurt. The intensity on the court shown by Anna, Sophia, and Grace, facing off in a club volleyball match, which felt like it could have been for a championship. Despite this, having the versatility to still be friendly off the court. Talent with Audie staying past open mic times on community afternoons to belt songs by Adele for any teachers and students that were willing to listen. Kindness with Olivia, trying to figure out ways to escape the grasps of her lower school buddies without hurting their feelings. The friendly competitiveness of Zach during Friday flag football, running past most of the middle schoolers, but making sure they were all included. The vulnerability of the IB art students in their exhibit to the art club's painted mural outside the basement classrooms. Your creativity left a visual legacy that will outlast us all. Not being afraid of the spotlight during a pep rally with Alejandro Perez, Aitana, and others, volunteering for student-teacher dodgeball. They didn't win, and they still claim that the teachers cheated. Ambition with the fall and spring musicals, being performed and executed with just months of preparation. Every time I left the song stuck in my head. Community shown through a game of keep up at lunch with Ale, Mateo, Stefan, Aoi, and others. They claim they made it to 20, and the rumor is this still stands as an ASM record. Consistency with the Friday gym crew, training for a Spartan race, but also building lifelong habits. The reliability of William and his headphones. I'm actually surprised he doesn't have them on now. And to finalize the year, the senior sleepover, which may have encompassed this class at its best. The organization of the senior football match, Goons vs. Veggies. Including Instagram pages, managers, photographers, and an official walkout with music. The humor from the fans yelling in synchronized chants and playful insults, capped off with front handsprings, somersaults, and a freestyle hip-hop performance. Knowledge of actually knowing how to referee a football match from Lauder, as I had to back out. There was just too much heat, literally and figuratively, because yes, my nose did get a sunburn. Care from Jose Felix, willing to jump into action to help patch the wounds of others from the match, despite seeing Juan's socks covered in blood. Commitment by the managers, Rodrigo, Finn, Guillermo, sweating it out in the heat in full suits. Attire such as a stylish hat, a walking boot, and even crutches. Compassion from Luis Alvarez, among others, sleep deprived, eagerly helping the grade 1 and 2 buddies paint their hands and leave their handprints along with the seniors. Connectedness of sharing food from Master Chef Bolster at the barbecue, late nights dodgeball, parachutes, and other games, all done as a class. These small, sometimes ridiculous, genuine moments are your legacy. They are what you leave behind. They have shown what you've been to each other and to this community. So class of 2025, thanks for the laughs, the weirdness, the zipline bravery, the singing, learning that I'm not all that hip with my language, the random classroom pop-ins, and everything in between. You won't remember every test score or due date, but you'll remember these shared moments together. This wasn't a perfect year, but it was real, and it was yours.
We now come to that point in the program where diplomas are presented by the headmaster, Mr. Benjamin Weinberg, the director of the upper school, Mr. Phelan Bolster, and the chairman of the board of the trustees, Mr. Michael Willich.
Ha llegado el momento de la entrega de los diplomas. A continuación serán entregados por el director del colegio, Mr. Benjamin Weinberg, el director de secundaria, Phelan Bolster, y el presidente del consejo, Mr. Michael Willich.
As we transition to introducing the students, I do want to give a big thanks to Blanca, Sandra, and Carolina, and even Mr. Dempsey for helping me practice the pronunciations. The laughs were definitely worth it. So with that, may the first row please stand. Luis Alvarez Gomez. Alejandro Alvarez Larios. Vega Arment. Maya Arevalo. Rodrigo Arizmendi Octavio. Stefan Balankrishnan. Elena Borgatha Gondale. Gonzalo Bravo Carrillo. Eleonora Marida Anders Briscoe. Lucia Calvo Medina. Sofia Campet Olivares. Nicole Carla Cantele Fink. Lucia Capdepon Martinez. Lorenzo Casineo Fabregat. William Cheng. Liam Christopher Castro Cleves. Kai Codicel Parker. Mia Correa. Aitana Cuevas Kraft. Will the second row please stand? Miriam Damaj. Joaquin Darquea. Sheila Amadi Das. Maria Clara de Elizalde Bridge. Blanca Diaz Moreno. Iria Diaz Regañón Flandes. José María Félix Encalara. Gerardo Fernández González. Not present, Lucia Fernández Ilago. Iria Flavia Gomez. Finn Fraser. Emma Galdon Ordaz. Maria Hill Harris. Inés Gómez Arreche. Mateo González Severiche. Claire Gwendolyn Higgins. Will the third row please stand? Lauder Winslet Fullerton Adric. Gabriela Grace Herrera Baeza. Ray Hussey. Aishan Elida Epek. Marina Izquierdo Munoz. Martín Jiménez Arias. Olivia Sophia Canal. William Lee. Manuela Litat. Brooks McKay Livesey. Carmen Yado Martin. Juan Iago Lopez Santaya. Annabella Losada. Francisco Javier Lumbreras. Diego Miquel Marjoti Barranco. Will the fourth row please stand? Luis Martin de Bustamante Robles. Guillermo Martinez Rodero. Nicholas Agustin Marx. Lorenzo Menendez Izquivel. Lucas Joaquin Menendez. Beatriz Milataru. Mia Alexia Mira Rojas. Rocco Manuel Metino. Aoi Miura. Paulina Montoya. Robin Mota Blanco. Geffen Jacob Mueller. Nicholas Negrete Tawilan. Martina Nieto Esponda. Liz Nuenkamp. Will the fifth row please stand? Jose Nunez. Valeria Perez Chavez. Alejandro Perez Linder. Ana Perez Martin. Andrea Perez. Alessandra Pico Parra. Ariane Pico Parra. Mencia Ponte Diaz. Melanie Q. Lourdes Rivera Gomez. Susana Rosso. Camila Ruano. Juan Saiz Evangelio. Will the sixth row please stand? Inés Santos Perez. Nicholas Sanja Stribling. Sofice Elizabeth Annika Schulte. Phoebe Caroline Self. Zachary Sean Shedden. Daniel Shavain Cheth. Lucas Mariano Soden. Asher Alsan Solomon. David Suarez Vazquez. Sonia Sophie Tolnine. Natalia Varela Izar. Jorge Vergara Munoz. Leon Villamor. Carlos Wang. Ray Garnero. Alejandro Thubiaga Mahar.
Now, Mr. Benjamin Weinberg will present the class of 2025.
Ahora, Mr. Benjamin Weinberg presentará la promoción de 2025.
It's always a little daunting to come last, particularly after the quality of the student remarks earlier. They set the bar extremely high. It's also, I think, important to note that we don't plan this event, and so that the theme that emerges through the different remarks is always remarkable how aligned we are in many ways. Class of 2025, I've known some of you since first grade, and I'm confident in saying that this is a class remarkable for resilience and compassion. The heart of your middle school years were impacted by the COVID lockdown. At the other end of your studies in your senior year, your IB exams were bookended with unprecedented events. You persevered. I saw you each day through your ASM journey reach out to one another to study, to play, to learn together, to laugh, and to support one another. Resilience is not something we can take for granted or assume. I believe it needs to be cultivated. And a first step in cultivation, be it philosophical or entirely practical, is to know what you are looking for. I want to share just briefly some thoughts on the source of resilience with two quotes and a story. The opposite of Phelim, you'll note, who had two stories and a quote. Because for me, resilience is not so much a quality, but a choice. The first quote comes from Abraham Lincoln's first inaugural address, written in 1861, as states seceded from the Union. He hoped that every living heart and hearthstone all over this broad land will yet swell the chorus of the Union, when again touched, as surely they will be, by the better angels of our nature. He knew hard times were coming. He knew hearts were hardening, but he dared to dream that they would be overcome by the angels of our better nature. Not an external rescue, but a resource and quality from within, and more importantly, within each of us. The second quote is 1968 rock and roll, and all along the Watchtower, Bob Dylan remarks that there are many here among us who feel that life is but a joke. The question is, who do we listen to? The answer to that question, for me anyways, is in this story. Years ago, in another life, I was a lobsterman offshore in the Gulf of Maine. One day, 30 miles from land, there was a perfect moment when a low-pressure system passed out to sea and a cold front swept in. For a moment, our 10-meter boat in all that vast emptiness was poised directly between the two. If I looked one way, I could see the smooth backs of the waves and the wind sweeping their crests like rainbow wings. If I looked the other way, I saw the jagged, white-capped waves coming at us, dark and ominous. I've carried that moment with me ever since. There are plenty of voices out there crying doom and gloom and making dire predictions. There are heavy issues to contend with. Look one way, and you'll see the infections of soul and circumstance that have been left to fester for far too long. But look the other way, and the world is bright with possibility. Opportunities that didn't exist even a few years ago are emerging today. Solutions that seemed impossible are being built. It all depends on which way you look, who you listen to, the angels of our better nature or those who doubt both possibility and potential. Resilience is a choice, one we can make in any moment. When you walk off this stage, my wish is that you make that choice. Cultivate the angel of your better nature and be a source of hope and resilience for all you meet, that you, in President Lincoln's words, take to every living heart and hearthstone all over this broad lands the values you learned and practiced here at ASM. Lancers, dream fearlessly, act kindly, be extraordinary. Seniors, will you please stand? This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Class of 2025, will you please move your tassels from the right to the left, signifying your passage from student to graduate. Ladies and gentlemen, parents, brothers, sisters, grandparents, teachers, and friends, the class of 2025 graduates of the American School of Madrid.
Walking backward through a parade, and I'm stuck in the shadow, blocking the shade. There ain't no way to sweep up the mess that we made. Dressed up like a pillow, so she's always in bed. Flowers for the sick and dead. She's on the go, way too fast and way too slow. She'll turn the stone in hospitals and funeral homes. And when the fall rises, somebody sighs who is not in disguise anymore. There's nothing to keep you from falling in love. It starts at the bottom, it comes from above. Like peace.